Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you ever looked at an airplane flying overhead and wonder what it would be like to sit in the cockpit and fly different airplanes and explore the world from above, then flight simulation might be the hobby for you. In this video, I will explain what a flight simulator is, what Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 is specifically, and share a little bit about my own experience with flight simulation. Now, the question is, what is flight simulation? A flight simulator is a software that recreates the experience of flying an aircraft. You can operate different airplanes, taxi around airports, take off, navigate, communicate with air traffic control, manage weather, and land at destination around the world. You can enjoy flight simulation casually with a controller or make it much more realistic with a joystick, throttle, rudder paddles, checklists, and realistic flight procedures. Now in this video, I will share with you guys different controls, which I personally use as well, along with different softwares. A home flight simulator is not the same as the certified professional training simulator, but it can help you understand important aviation concepts such as aircraft controls, navigation, weather, airport operations, and cockpit procedures. Now, talking about myself, I have been using Flight Simulator for the last 10 years. My journey began with Microsoft Flight Simulator X, or we call it FSX. FSX introduced me to the flying different aircrafts, exploring the world, and using add-ons on improved experience. After FSX, I moved to Prepare 3D, also known as P3D. It offered improved visuals and simulation features, but it still required quite a bit of setup and customization. Then came Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. It was a major step forward with highly detailed scenery, real world locations, live weather, and an incredible virtual representation of the planet. I could fly over familiar places, visit airports around the world, and explore the locations I may never go to see in person. Today, I use Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 using virtual reality. Yes, using VR. Flying in VR makes the cockpit feel much more immersive. You can look around naturally, lean towards the instrument, check your surrounding, and experience the scale of the aircraft and airport in a complete different way. Alrighty, so it's time for showing you guys where you can buy this, where you can purchase the Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. The Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 can be bought from flightsimulator.com, and in my one of the videos I have provided more in-depth details on what exactly type of version you want to buy. When you're getting into Flight Simulator, certainly you do not want to spend a tons of money just for the Microsoft Flight Simulator version, as there are different type of versions. You can just simply buy the standard one and then start running into that. Because again, if you're just beginner, you're just learning, certainly you're not going to go through each and every aircraft, as MSFS 2024 comes with tons of different type of aircrafts. However, if you want all the aircraft, certainly you can go for deluxe or premium deluxe. Now let's talk about what you actually require to run a flight simulator. In order to run a flight simulator, you certainly require a good PC. When I say a good PC, certainly there is no limit for the personal computer PC. Of course, a lot of folks like to build their own, such as I myself. I have built my own PC using different components from scratch. However, if you're just starting and if you have no knowledge of building PC, you can go ahead and buy a PC out there. Now, on this screen, as you're seeing right now, this is considered a high-end pre-built gaming PC, which can be bought at walmart.ca for $1,899. Again, flight simming is an expensive hobby, let me tell you that. I'm just being honest here. Certainly, there are tons of different PCs out there, pre-built PCs, or if you know someone, ask them to build a PC for you. That's about the PC. Now, what type of controllers do you require to get going into Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024? Currently, I own Logitech G Pro Flight Yoke System throttle quadrant. This comes as a whole set. So this is our yoke as well as the throttle quadrant. Of course, mine looks a little bit different as I have extra add-ons which have been added on to this particular portion with the throttle quadrant where I can choose engine 1, 2, spoilers, flaps, etc., etc. So yokes this yoke system along with the throttle can be utilized for simple aircraft such as Cessna C-172 or even you can utilize for Boeing. Again, Boeing uses yoke system. However, if you're into Airbus, then certainly you can go for Thrustmaster TCA Captain's Pack, where you can get the side stick, as well as throttle quadrants, flaps, spoilers, landing gear, and the engine control switches, along with parking brake. Prices can be seen. I'm using Amazon.ca at this point in time. So the next one comes with a hefty price tag of $629 plus taxes there. This is a little bit expensive version of the Boeing yoke there. Another one is from the Thrustmaster T Flight HOTAS. Now this one can be purchased at $129 from Best Buy. I personally have started my journey with this particular one and I still have it. I haven't let go of it, as some days if I feel flying military aircraft such as F-22 Raptors or F-18, then certainly I like to utilize this one compared to my yoke. Well, next thing you need is the rudder paddles. Thrustmaster TFRP flight rudder paddles are the best choice as they come with $169 and again not expensive as well as more practical. And if you want to go for a little bit expensive one, you can opt out for Logitech. They have a price tag of $249 plus taxes there. Again, it's a personal preference. However, I personally have this rudder paddles right now and they have been working. Another one is from Thrustmaster TPR pendular rudders. Again, these are on a higher end side, $869 there. Not a lot of folks want to spend unnecessary money onto that one. All right, so the next one out there is a package, I call it. If you're just starting and if you want to buy everything all together, Thrustmaster T16000 or T16000M, it's a good combination. It comes with stick, throttle, as well as rudder paddles. And alrighty, so that was about our controls. Now let's look at certain softwares which are not essentials. However, they do increase your flight simulation experience by far. First one we want to talk about is GSX Pro. This is our ground services. GSX has been around for quite a bit of time. However, their recent product GSX Pro is at another level. If you're having GSX Pro, certainly you can see people walking, uh, people boarding the aircraft, as well as enhanced jetways, certain services such as refueling, baggages, pushback, etc., etc. GSX Pro can be bought from FSDT, or it's called fsdreamteam.com, as displayed on the screen here. Now the next one and my favorite one is sayintentions.ai. Of course, Flight Simulator does come with its own ATC. However, if you want more realism and if you're a hardcore simmer, then certainly you want to go for sayintentions.ai. This is an artificial intelligence ADC system. It does speak to you just like a normal human being. Again, it's an artificial intelligence though. It does have certain limitations. However, it is way immersive than other add-ons out there. Also, say intention does come with air traffic as well. If you're looking for adding real aircrafts to your system, then certainly you want to go for Saint Tensions. Unfortunately, the Saint Tensions is a subscription-based service, which requires $27 a month. And again, the price is in Canadian dollars there. The next one we want to look at is one-time purchase FS HUD traffic control. FS HUD is a one-time purchase for $25 currently. Another good option, AI ATC, not like Saint Tension, but certainly it's a good one. After that, it comes Beyond ATC. Beyond ATC is another ATC program. I personally haven't used Beyond ATC, so I can't say anything about it, but certainly it is out there for sure. Next one, we want to talk about sceneries. If you see an amazing video out there and you'll be like, wow, that's an amazing scenery. And if you actually go in your simulator and then you find completely different scenery, well, that's because somebody had utilized different sceneries there. Now, Orbex is one of the softwares out there. Orbex produces different type of sceneries. Currently, it is on sale where different airports, different city landmarks can be bought for and utilized in the simulation. Next is SimMarket. This is another platform where MSFS 2024, or not just MSFS 2024, but all other simulator add-ons can be bought from. Last but not the least is our FlightSim.to. On FlightSim.to, there are tons of free things available, such as free aircrafts, free helicopters, free airport sceneries, and other tools where one can buy for. Only thing, you just have to register for that, and that's all. You don't have to pay anything. Make sure when you go to flightsim.to and if you're trying to download something, you filter through and choose as a freeware rather than a payware. All right, now let's talk about some add-on aircrafts for the simulator to take your simulator to the next level. Now, the very first mention, of course, it's going to be the PMDG. Comes from PMDG simulation. PMDG 777-300ER along with PMDG 737-800. They both are very famous out there and popular amongst the MSFS community. Now, if you like Airbus, then certainly you can go for Phoenix. Phoenix Simulation has been producing amazing aircrafts for their Airbus airliners. It comes as a bundle for A319, A320, and A321. Any of those. I currently own A320 and I must say it is an amazing aircraft. After that, I like to mention CRJ version 2. CRJ comes from Aerosoft. I currently own them as well and I really enjoy flying the short hauls there between smaller cities in Canada. Certainly, if you're looking into Airbus A350 or and look into Inbuilds, Inbuilds have been producing amazing aircrafts as well. Their A350 is quite famous out there. Last but not the least is our fly-by-wire A320 as well as A380. I must say they have been putting hard work into the simulation into creating this aircraft. And both of these aircrafts are quite famous amongst the community. Again, these are Airbus aircrafts there. But that's all about the Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 as well as the Flight Simulator in general. I hope you guys liked the video. Please share, subscribe, and like the channel. And if you have any questions, leave them in a comment and I'll try my best to answer them. Again, thank you for watching.